Alrighty, we did our night one predictions yesterday. Um, Now it is time for the night two predictions. Um, so we have six matches here. It's seven for night one, six for night two, because these matches will be considerably longer, I would say. Um, so yeah, let's get straight into the first one here. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. I think this is gonna be a good match. It's a street fight. The usual, like the whatever town they're in, street fight. So this is the Sin City street fight. Um, I think Damian Priest is gonna win. Um, because I feel like he hasn't gotten a lot of wins lately. I think he needs to be back where he was at last year's WrestleMania. He won the title, he cashed in. Um, so yeah, I think Damian Priest needs to win because there's been a lot happened in the storyline. I don't think Drew needs a win. Um, I think Drew screwed Priest out of the Elimination Chamber, which led to Logan Paul pinning Damian Priest after Drew McIntyre had already got eliminated. Um, so I think that's a that's good chance for Damian Priest to get back at Drew McIntyre for that. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Damian Priest for that one. Next up we have we'll do this match. This is the women's world championship triple threat match. It's Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. I was very shocked when Io Sky won the title at the first Raw after at the Raw after Elimination Chamber. I did not expect that at all. I thought it was just going to be straight up, Rhea versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, which would have been a way better match, I think. But I think it could be a little bit more exciting, maybe, with the addition of Io to the match. Um, so yeah, I think it's gonna be a good match. I'm gonna take Bianca Belair here because she's just been so dominant at WrestleMania, and she's actually undefeated at WrestleMania. So um, yeah, I think she's gonna continue her streak. I don't think they should take that away from her. Um, so I think because this was supposed to be her shot originally. So I think she's still gonna win, which will set up, Rhea versus Bianca Belair at Backlash. Since we didn't since we didn't get that here, I think it's gonna lead to that happening at Backlash. So let's get into the next match. Let's see. Got only 4 minutes in. We got 30 seconds of a intro, and then yeah, we're already two out of the six matches here. So, but I'm sure the main event I'm gonna go. Next up, we got the Fatal Four Way for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Penta versus Finn Balor. I'm not sure why I started on his name there. We got Dominic Mysterio, and we got champion Braun Breaker. Um, I think it's gonna be a really good match. I think with the Judgment Day storyline um is gonna add to it. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. Don't know what place it gets here on the card. I would say probably third or fourth. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to the match, and I think Dom's gonna win the title here. As much as I would prefer Braun Breaker to win, I don't mind Dom winning either. I would hope that Penta doesn't win. It's not that I don't like him. It's just they really haven't built him up yet. He's really just been facing mid card guys for the most part in his first. He debuted on what, like January 13th. That was the second week of Raw on Netflix. He's fought Pete Dunne. He's fought Ludwig Kaiser. Um, he did fight Finn Balor at Braun Breaker. And then I think he might have fought somebody else from the Judgment Day. So yeah, I mean he hasn't had a great couple couple of months. Um, but yeah, I don't I really think that he needs to get some more momentum here before he gets a title. I think he needs to prove himself more. After he had that incident at the Royal Rumble. Um, I think this is the perfect time for Dom to win a title also. Because he's been um, I would say he's been way more relevant than his dad these past couple of years. That he's been heel. Um, so yeah, I think Dom's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, like I said, the Judgment Day storyline is gonna add to it. Um, I think JD will come back. And I think Carlito will be out there. Maybe Liv Morgan. I doubt it because she has a match. Um, but I think Carlito and JD will be out there, and they will help Dom instead of Finn at the end, and then Dom will pin Finn to win the title. Um, so yeah, let's go on to the next match. We go out. We did that. Okay, we'll do this one. This is the women's tag title match. This one's real random. I think they just kind of did this to get them on the card, um, which that's okay. Bailey was on last year. She had a huge match. Liv Morgan wasn't on last year. Because I think she was hurt still. Um, and then Lyra was still in NXT. Raquel was, I think she was injured maybe. Um, or maybe she was just off TV. Uh, but yeah, this is going to be well, it could be. This is probably the match that I'm looking forward to the least, I would say, unless there's like some kind of cheating, which I don't think there will be. I think it'll be straightforward. Bailey and Lyra will lose. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that they've um that they trust Lyra enough that they sure like they do like her, but I just don't think that she should have two titles right now. And I don't think Bailey should be a tag team champion. That doesn't sound right to me. And I definitely think that another match between Lyra and Bailey for the women's intercontinental title could be something good, maybe at Backlash. Because usually Backlash is like the fallout of WrestleMania. It's usually kind of matches of things that other versions of matches um, that happened at WrestleMania. Okay, I think we're good now. I don't know what was going on there. Screen glitched for a second. Um, But yeah, like I was saying, I think Bailey and Lyra could have a match at Backlash. Um, Liv and Raquel. I don't know what they'll do when they'll lose the titles. Who they'll lose the titles to? I just don't think it'll be now. It makes no sense. Um, so yeah, that's an okay match. Definitely not the best match here. Um, not much to talk about there. Um, So yeah, let's get into the next one. We got two matches left. We got this match, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. I'm really looking forward to this match. A lot of people don't like Logan Paul, and that's fine. I hate you. But still, it's gonna be a great match. AJ Styles, he is older, but he can still go. He can still go good. He's still very athletic. He still can do great things in the ring. Obviously Logan Paul, he's only 30. And I would say he's one of the best athletes in the current roster. But he's just humble. He's just humble about it. He's not really bragging much. He just stays humble about it. But I'm really looking forward to this match. Like I said, this gives back all the way to the Royal Rumble when Logan jumped off of the barricade to get onto the step because he wasn't eliminated. Um, And as soon as AJ Styles went for that phenomenal forearm, and Logan Paul pulled him off the rope and he got eliminated, which then led to like AJ Styles saying stuff in the back, and Logan Paul saying stuff to AJ Styles in the back, and eventually some promos in the ring. Um, and, obviously all leading up to this. The build has been good, I think. Logan Paul WrestleMania builds are usually about the same every year. They're okay. Um, but yeah, I'm expecting this to be one of my favorite matches of the night, and that's not me being biased. I think, like I said, both guys um can can do some good moves. They're real good in the ring. Um, and for Logan Paul being pretty much a rookie, no background really of wrestling, um, but he can still do good in these matches. Um, that's pretty good to me. A lot of people will say that everybody he faces is carries him throughout the match, and it's not really him doing anything. Um, yeah, I don't really agree with that. I think Logan Paul's still a good performer. Um, love him or hate him, you gotta respect that he's a good athlete. So yeah, it comes down to picks. Um, I thought Logan Paul was going to win. Um, but he's hit the pulverizer on AJ Styles the past 2 weeks that they've been in the ring. Um, you know, usually on a go home show, whoever gets the upper hand most of the time. Sometimes, you know, it's just a squash match. But usually for the most part, that's not the case. Um, so I think AJ Styles will probably win here. Um, he has said many times that he doesn't have that much, time left. He doesn't have a lot of years left. Um, so I think that he should get a win here, and I don't know what's next for him. He's probably gonna have a good year, I would say, a good rest of his year. I would say he's probably gonna challenge Jey Uso, maybe. Him versus Jey Uso, for the World Heavyweight title would be pretty good, maybe at Backlash. Um, but yeah, I don't know. So I think AJ Styles is gonna win. It pains me to say that. I'm a Logan Paul fan, but I just don't see him winning after hitting two pulverizers on AJ Styles. Um, and pretty much getting the upper hand, looking really dominant um, on the weekly shows here against AJ Styles. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is dating back to January 6th. Well, technically like July or whenever Money in the Bank was. Um, when John Cena announced his retirement. Um, he said that he came out after Trish Stratus announced him. He came out wearing his red shirt. Says the last time is now. He had a big door on the back of his shirt. He's wearing his new armbands, his new hat. Um, he came out and he announced his retirement. Says it's going to be one last year, um, to be this year. One last Royal Rumble, one last Money in the Bank, one last Elimination Chamber, and then one last WrestleMania. At first, I thought WrestleMania was like his last match, but he's going the whole year. He's going to till December, and I was really looking forward to that. And I still was until March 1st at about 10:30 p.m. Um, so yeah, we had Cena come out the first Raw on Netflix. Said he's gonna win the Royal Rumble. He promises to win the Royal Rumble, I think. And we get to the Royal Rumble, and obviously we know what happened there. I think it's probably one of the greatest, Royal Rumbles of all time. I mean, you had CM Punk in there, who, he's okay. You had Roman Reigns in there. You had Seth Rollins in the Royal Rumble, John Cena in the Royal Rumble, Jey Uso in the Royal Rumble. guys that you don't usually see in the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns hasn't been in a Royal Rumble in, who knows, like probably since 2019, 2018. So yeah, he hadn't been in the Royal Rumble in a while. Seth Rollins wasn't in the Royal Rumble last year. I don't believe he was in it in 2023. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, Logan Paul threw him out there. Um, but yeah, he wasn't in last year. He's pretty much a really big star. CM Punk obviously he was in last year, but you don't see him a lot. And then Drew McIntyre was in it too. Jey Uso, this was only his second Royal Rumble ever, I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, we had it. It was a great match. Um, I was very excited throughout. I was standing for most of it, in my living room, pacing around, hoping John Cena would win. Um, but I also wouldn't mind if Jey Uso won, and then when it came down to Cena, Jey, and Logan Paul, I didn't know who would win. Um, it had to come down to Cena. I thought it was for sure John Cena. And it was looking like it until Jey Uso, flopped back over the rope and bounced him off, which I got very excited about. I was very, very excited. And now he's gonna win the world title here in just a couple days. It is Thursday, at the time of recording this. Um, we're 2 days away from Jey Uso winning his first world title. Um, and that was really special. That's gonna be really special. Um, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, then we get the press conference after Royal Rumble. John Cena says that he will be in the Elimination Chamber. He just announces it. Doesn't really earn a spot like everybody else had to earn a spot. He says that he will compete in the main event in his final WrestleMania and win a 17th championship because it's best for business. You know the story. Um, but uh, yeah, he vows to win, and he does. But um, not by pinfall. Um, he, you which he very well could have done because Rollins was still in the cage and he stomped Punk on the floor, which led to John Cena putting him in the STF, whatever. Um, but he very well could have just gave Punk another finisher, which leads me to believe that I don't think Cena's going to get a pin the whole year. I think that he's going to. I think that he's going to lose here. I'm gonna be honest. I think John Cena's going to lose here. I don't think Cody should drop the strap. It doesn't make sense for Cody to have to put John Cena over here when I would say I've been saying this for months. Cody's this generation's John Cena, and he shouldn't lose the title. So, not really much else to say about that. I think Cody's gonna win. Um, that's straightforward. John Cena's a bitch. Rock can come out if he wants, but I don't know. He's shown over the past month that he really cares about this build by not showing up. Travis Scott will be there, but who cares? He's a goof that sings songs. Um, but yeah, I think Cody's gonna win, and that wraps up WrestleMania. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, um, and we'll see you guys later. Make sure you go subscribe to True Experience. Shane and I will be on there tomorrow, and Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. I'm gonna go get out of here. So we'll see you guys. Peace.